Hello, everyone. Welcome. The people on Facebook got a little extra preview of us trying to get everything going. Yep, always. Anyway, welcome to How Do You Spirit? And today we have some fun things that we're going to announce, right? Yes, super fun stuff for Spooky Month. So the first thing is we've been mentioning this for a while. We've asked for you to please go submit your ghost stories to us. You can do that at the website, howdoyouspirit.com. And we're going to review those and pick some winners for a free reading from Taco and myself. So if you haven't done that, please do so. We want to see your fun stories. The other side of that, which I am super excited about, is do you feel like you have some spirits hanging around your home, or do you feel like you're being haunted? If so, go to the website, howdoyouspirit.com, and we want to book an appointment with you to come to your home, correct?
Absolutely.
And see who's hanging out with you.
Yeah, we'll tattletale on it and tell you what's going on, and then we're going to sage their asses out.
Yep. Tell them bye-bye. Of course, locally, Salt Lake Valley and outside areas a little bit. We ain't getting on a plane or anything, but anyway, not yet.
Possible.
It's coming.
Someone could buy us plane tickets.
Right. That's so true. That's true.
Absolutely.
That could be coming. So reach out to us again. You can reach out to us on the social media through Facebook or the webpage. And the other thing, we have some cool guests coming on this month that are going to be sharing ghost stories. And I've got one of those booked already. And one of the ones that I have booked right now is the owner of Cats and Cauldron, which is a metaphysical shop that's located in West Valley City.
You did book him.
I did, yep.
Oh,
so
awesome.
If
I'm excited.
you want to go check out their shop, it's the cutest little thing. Go check it out. But he's going to be a guest, and he has several ghost stories to share with everyone. And another guest that I'm working on booking is somebody that has their own paranormal company and has done a lot of ghost hunting themselves. And so that's coming along with a lot of other stuff. But the thing I think I'm most excited about is that we have started working with a company called Huge Brands, and we are going to start working with their team, and we are creating a merch line.
That is so awesome.
So you can wear us out, get the word out about us and our community so we can get more followers, more watchers, more involvement. That's the whole point of it. But there's some big stuff there that's in the works. So it's going to take a bit to get something and get our first launch out, but it's on its way. So I'm so excited.
Michelle says, what about a 3-hour drive?
It's possible.
Maybe.
We could be persuaded.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. What she got to offer.
Right? They're up by Bear Lake, so, you know.
That's what I'm saying. What she got to offer, you know? I mean, we're just saying. Little boat, little fishing. Yeah, we could be persuaded.
Right.
That's my aunt, my dad's sister.
Campfire.
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep.
I'm all in.
Possible. So anyway, all that fun stuff going on. Reach out to us if you want us to come visit your home and find out who's haunting you. And today we thought we would talk about
miracles that have happened or divine intervention that's happened.
Yes.
And how it's affected our life, because we have that on a daily. I just don't think people really pay attention enough to realize it. And, the thing that people's guides say a lot, get your mind where your feet are. Get more in the moment. We are so into what we were and where we was.
Yes.
And way too much into how we can get to where and there.
Yep.
That we're missing the magic.
We're blind.
We are.
To the,
And I actually learned that kind of the hard way, the taco way.
Right.
When I went through my death space.
Yes.
And I was like coming out of that whole crazy shit show and was just seeing miracles left and right. It was neat because I did start to like get more in the day. And it was so cool because like I had birds bottom diving me, I had animals follow me, and you know, it's stuff that I wouldn't have ever realized was happening. I can't say that it wasn't happening before that. I can just say I finally paid the fuck attention.
Right.
You know? Yeah. And it was really neat because I was also at that time working on learning to love myself. And so I was going to that mirror and I was coming up with bare minimum. And I mean, bare minimum, that 3 things: left eye ain't twitching today, I'm rocking it, you know? And it was so neat because as I started to grow with that and started to love myself, the more I noticed how beautiful and how much my guide showed actually up for me throughout the day.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you want to see a miracle, like the coordination that they can do is
crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
Because it kind of gets Twilight Zone-ish. It does.
For sure.
It does. And if you do fall in love with you, be prepared because you are going to be accused of being too happy. I have succeeded on that one.
Yes.
Very proudly.
Yes.
But I can't even tell you how many miracles I've had that literally, like, I am a walking miracle.
Yes,
and
you are.
I think there's so many people that are, and they don't realize it. And, you know, like I remember when my daughter we were out riding our horses and she got hit on her horse.
Oh, wow.
It was the craziest thing because like I watched her, I was in my wagon and I had her waiting on the side of the road because I wanted to walk back and walk her across. And I watched that car hit that horse. And if he wouldn't have reared up when he did, she wouldn't have had a leg.
Wow.
Not only that, but I literally watched her fly through the air. And I am not kidding you, Lori. It looked like someone gently put her down. And we're all like, what the hell is going on? And I held it together for that, right?
Yeah.
I held it together. Like, I'm like checking her out. She don't even have a scrape. Like,
wow.
911's got life flight, and everybody's like, no, somehow this kid just like kind of just sat down.
It's like she landed on a pillow.
And she told me, she's like, Mom, did you see those angels' arms come out and grab me? And I am not kidding you.
Wow.
Everybody, there was so many people that were there, and they all was like, what in the heck was that? Because she literally flew so gently through the air and was put
just like
so
gracefully.
Gently, like she didn't even scrape like a bum cheek. I mean, nothing. I was more beat up than she was. And that was a miracle in itself. I've had
how fall do you or excuse me, how far do you think the fall was? Like from the horse down to the ground?
So it's a double lane road. We were in the middle.
Yeah.
She was clear off to the side. So 3 lanes.
Yeah.
She flew that far.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The guy hit her, horse drunk, not insured, all that. Hit her doing, the point of impact was 96 miles an hour.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's, now my mind's even more blown.
Yeah, well, and when she said that, like, I was holding it together. I was like, and that, I'm one of those that in the moment, I'm stellar. Yeah. But after the fact, I'm a shit show.
You fall apart.
You know? When the minute she said that, I lost it. I just like crumbled and went gooey. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it was, she was always very psychic anyway. And when she was so cute, she'd always go, Mom, do you remember when I was your mom and this and this and this would happen? Yeah, oh yeah. And she stopped doing that after I said, hey, Shelby, you remember when you were my mom and I was your kid? She's like, yeah. And I said, well, did I make you clean your room? She's like, yeah. And I said, get your ass in there and clean your room. And then that quit. I shouldn't have done that. But she actually had a neat experience. I hope she doesn't mind me talking about this, but she went to work on a work trip earlier this year with one of her coworkers, and apparently her coworker, her mom had passed, and you know,
while she was gone.
Some time. No.
Oh, okay, okay.
But was kind of left with a lot of unspoken stuff, and you know, Shelby has always been like really psychic sensitive. She hates it, but
she don't want to.
She don't want to join my world. I don't know why, but they were in Vegas, and she says I sat down with her, and all of a sudden I get this gush of emotion, and I'm talking with her as if I'm her mom, and she's like, "It was so freaky, Mom. I don't want to do what you do." I'm like, "Too late. Right? Congratulations. Welcome to the club."
Right?
Yeah, but she's always been really on point, which is a good bad thing sometimes. Sometimes she knows what I'm up to, and she's like, "Mom," I'm like, "Shit."
I do that with her. I can tell when something's up.
Yeah. When you're soul connected, you don't get away with nothing.
No, it's true.
And then they act like they're the mom. I'm like, wait a minute, we picked different roles this time.
Right.
I'm your mom.
Yeah. So did that conversation that your daughter had with the gal, did it help her? Like, help heal?
She was laughing. She's like, all of a sudden, we're both just snot nose crying. And yeah, it did. And
that's amazing.
You know, my daughter's since moved on to she works for a different county and stuff. But that lady, I know that really, Shelby got to see how much that helped her and how much that changed her life. And I think that was such a wonderful thing for me to hear, because, you know, like I know that happens to me a lot where I meet certain people and I'm just like,
you gotta talk.
Like I walk away with more than what they walk away with, just because they're just so damn magical, you know, and you're just looking at them going, oh my gosh. Yeah. And so it's amazing how I know that I literally have lived off faith for a very long time. And anytime I need something, I'm like, hey, Taco to God. It's me again. Any chance you
can you help a girl out?
Yeah, oh, man. And every time I get what I want.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason we tend to not notice this more is because we get so wrapped up in our own stuff.
Yeah.
That we don't allow our guides to work through. I mean, like I watch so many people that I work with and give readings to and try and help them kind of, you know, straddle this thing called life. And there's so many times, like if they would just do what their guides ask them to.
Yes, and sometimes it takes a few ass whoopings for that to happen.
It does, and it's like you're going, you really don't need that many telephone poles up your ass.
Right.
I promise you. Like you just take what you got and let's move it on.
Right, right.
We are so damn stubborn.
Do you think when, like you do readings for people, and even when I've had readings from you way back when, you kicked my butt a few times, and do you right? We've all had the butt kicking. Do you, I guess, like as far as timing, what do you think people really, when they realize the divine intervention, you know, that it's there for us, what makes people just kind of like, oh, I get it now, like wake up? Do you think a tragedy or something?
Sometimes I don't know that it's always a tragedy. Sometimes I think we're conditioned to really give the negative a lot of energy.
Yes, absolutely.
And if we could flip that, like if you pay attention, for every negative thought you have, your brain tells you that 1,300 times.
Yeah.
Every one time. Yep. Oh shit, I did that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that.
And just one to the next. Yeah.
And if you could flip that and you could start doing that in a positive way, right? You're going to see your life go from black and white to color.
Yeah.
And I mean that. A lot of the things that people's guides tell them to do, especially if like they've said it a million times, I pay attention. It takes about 1,000,001 times, and then I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Okay, I got it.
I might need to like focus on that. So even with what I know, I'm still human.
You still struggle.
I'm still human. It still happen, you know.
Yeah.
I still get in my own way. But if you can really start paying attention to the positive and you start focusing on what you want and you allow yourself to kind of be guided to that destination. So a lot of times they'll say, look, put that target down. You know, my destination is I want to have $1 million in my bank account by January 24, 2026, right? Yep. And if you focus on that and you just allow your guides to help you maneuver your life, you will get there.
Yeah.
You will.
Don't try to figure out how you're going to get there either, right?
Well, that's the point. You know what you want. Yeah. Don't worry about how you get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry about how you get there. You know, our guides are really pushing us to embrace more of that lighter spiritual side because it's combating a lot of this negative, heavy, gooey, yucky energy that's happening on the planet for this clearing out to happen. And if you get sucked into that, you're not going to make it.
Right.
And so it's a really, really hard time right now. And people's, you know, so many times, like when you see someone that you know is really struggling, right? And I have a few people I've worked with, and if they could just allow themselves to get outside of that for a minute, just that heaviness, that it's hopeless, and just allow themselves to look around and see what's going on, you'll see intervention all over.
Yeah.
And I don't think we realize that that's how our guides are working. So it's not just they have to get you set up in the right spot. They've got to get everybody else set up in the right spot.
That's so true. Yeah,
you know,
sure.
And then if you pay attention to what they're doing and who they're connecting with, I mean, like, how many times have we run into people that we're like, hey, come on the podcast. You are fabulous.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
And it's because we want every walk of life, everybody, the good, bad, ugly, the
no
whole
matter
nine
what.
yards.
Yep.
So to connect with one another, because we have so many people that are tearing each other down.
Yes.
That we don't, it's overriding the people that are reaching their hands out saying, hey, let me help you. And in general, I watch people come together in a positive, most beautiful way. And if you could see that and you could appreciate that, you could really understand that's how this works, right? You'll have whatever your heart desires, as long as it's not something you need to not have in order to complete the experience that you came down here to complete.
Okay. Wow.
So let's say, and I'll do it for instance, let's just say Chelsea's experience is that she's got to learn to love herself enough that is going to bring that completion within her, because every life she's been here so far, she's had a husband, someone that took care of her, someone that helped her. Let's just say that happened, okay? And so she's like, hey, I want to be that soul that I want to know I can do it myself this time, right? So she's going to connect with relationship people, right? But at the end of the day, she's not going to meet that one that really grabs a hold of her, makes you love stupid,
right?
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get love stupid. You'll get close, but not all the way.
Quite.
And that way, you know, she still gets that, hey, you're doing a good job, and you're getting that little bit of fulfillment. But at the same time, it's still helping her stay on course with what she wanted to learn. Because she wanted to learn how to be that strong, independent soul and understand that aspect of it.
Okay.
Which is why a lot of times the reason we have so many past lives is so that we can experience every angle of what kind of a spiritual being we want to be.
Yeah.
You have to know why it's not okay to murder someone.
Yeah.
You have to know the heartbreak of having someone that was murdered, right? You've got to know the heartbreak of losing a significant other. You got to know the heartbreak of you dying and you're leaving your significant other. I mean, like we come down and we want to learn every aspect. as to that, so that we know when we kind of graduate, shall we say, and become more powerful kind of beings, more into that God kind of energy. That's what we're going to create our movement to be. So at the end of the day, we're all energy, and we all share energy when we go on the other side. So I mean, like, the sex is gonna be awesome.
Yay!
I'm just saying, there's gonna be some good fun stuff that'll be so worth it,
right?
And the love is endless. We don't even know what love is when we're down here. Like, but the reason that it's not as intense, that experience, is because, like with my situation, when I died and got to meet God. I tell you, I get really homesick.
Do you?
Oh, bad.
Because you've had that experience now.
Oh man, the love
being
and
human,
like the non-judgment was so amazing. And I knew I had, like, it was almost familiar, but not.
Right.
It was like familiar, but you'd been gone so long.
You got a refresher.
Yeah. And even the love that I feel for, my people, it doesn't even come close to the kind of love that you get from the other side. Wow. And it's because if we had that, which sometimes we get that, and if we had that, you're not going to stay here. You're going to want to go home.
Right. That makes sense for sure.
You get real homesick real fast.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
But yeah, I've had a lot of miracles in my life, like with what happened with Shelby, and like, there's been times where literally I didn't have $1 to my name, and I'm like, I'm out of gas, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get my daughter to this doctor appointment, and I'm like running on fume, like, talking to God.
Let me get there.
And literally, that instance, I got out in the parking lot, and sure as shit, if I didn't park right on a $20 bill.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. My favorite one is when my lights were going to get turned off and I needed $100.
Yes.
And I'm stressing. I'm like doing the talking to God kind of thing, right? And I'm stressing. And even though when you do that, it's not like I know God takes care of me, no problem. Right. I know that. It never once has that failed. But that doesn't mean that I don't still go, oh,
we get
my
stressed,
God, is this going to happen? Is he going to pull it off? And I don't know why they always wait till the last moment. I kind of feel like it's to torture us a little bit.
Right.
I would if I would
really
died.
test
I'm
us.
just saying. I would. I'd be like, I gotta have my own entertainment.
Right.
Let's make her sweat just 2 more seconds. All right, now we'll do it. But not only was my lights going to get turned off, I'm like looking at the cupboards going, oh man, I am in deep trouble here. And I just prayed, and I am not kidding you. Like the whole next day, like I had like a weird like itch, like my pants were rubbing me wrong on my butt cheek, and I'm not kidding you. And so I get home, my sister, I'm like stressed, and she's like, it's gonna be okay. You know, God always saves you. I'm like, I know. And I'm like, God, I am done. I just put my hand down my pants, itched my butt. And sure as shit, if I didn't pull out $100 bill.
That's nuts.
And I'm not kidding you. My sister about has a meltdown. You're kidding me. Why do you just pull out money out of your ass? I'm like, I sure did. I mean, I wish so bad I could have had that filmed.
Right.
I didn't know. I mean, it was quite a miracle on that. Right. It was neat. And then one of my dear clients called me, and it was late that night. And she's like, hey, Tucker, you know what? I just went through all my cupboards, and I am getting rid of so much food. And I don't know why, but you kept popping in my mind.
See?
Would you like this? Can I bring this to you? And I'm like,
please. Yes, please.
Absolutely. Thank you, God. I appreciate you. I won't bug you again for another 24 hours.
I've done the same thing before. I was like, I really need food. Can you please send me some money? Anything. Yeah. And the next day at work, I found $50 under a check.
What?
See what I'm saying? Absolutely. Wow. It's amazing when you have just a little bit of faith, just a little bit of faith, and you like, you're gonna stress. It's okay to stress and doubt. What's not okay is if you veer off the course. right? So if I would have started calling everybody and going, hey, I need $100 right now in order to keep my lights on, that would have been me taking control of the miracle that they were actually going to give.
Yeah.
And that's where I think we get in
Caught
the
up.
way a lot.
Yeah.
Is we get,
just let it happen.
Try to control how it's going to come in.
Yeah.
Versus allowing our guides to have a little entertainment and
take care of us.
Bringing it to you, because they will.
Right.
I mean, I know I've been in several situations where I was the one, like earlier this year, there was a guy standing outside the Maverick that I always go to, and he had this cute older dog, and he's just standing there, and I could tell, like, you know, his legs kind of look purple and stuff. I'm like, oh, and it's hot. It was like one of the hottest days. And I'm like, are you good? You need a drink or anything? He's like, no, my car won't start, and I don't know what to do. He said, my wife just passed away, and I'm just, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I, oddly, which is so unlike me, but I like have like this, if you want to see me scream and cry like a little girl, break my car down. I have PTSD. Break my car down. If my car has anything wrong, and I mean, like, that's where you will throw me off the ledge. I can handle anything else. You break my car down, I've got extreme PTSD from that. But I have AAA, and I'm like, hey, I got you, man. I said, I pay for this. Don't cost me nothing but 5 minutes of my time. I called a tow truck and I got him home. He didn't know how to. He didn't even approach me. I approached him, and I was drawn to it because I felt that's what I needed to do. And I think a lot of times that's what happens. You know, I mean, like, I remember. So we grew up really, really, really poor, and it was a rough go. My brother, he was my youngest brother at the time, but he's got 2 more under him now. My mom kept saying she was going to breed her way to victory, and she did a damn good job trying. But she didn't have the funds to breed her way to victory, you know, right? So she was a little bit kind of scarce. But we were home alone a lot, and at the time, our water line had broke, so we only had a hose hooked up to our neighbor's faucet to get us water.
Wow.
Well, and this went on for a long time, so we had to boil water on the stove in order to have a warm bath, and of course then we'd all jump in
all together.
Not all together, but we'd definitely all take our turn in the same bath water, which, you know, sounds kind of gross at this point in my life, but at the time it was nice.
It worked.
Right? It worked, yeah. And my older brother, he thought it would be funny to, when he was pouring the hot water in, my 2 younger brothers were in the tub, and he accidentally burnt my youngest brother's butt a little bit with it, splashed the water, and he jumped up and hit the pan.
Oh, and all of it came out.
Oh yeah, and he instantly, his skin started coming off.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I mean, handfuls of skin. And, you know, we don't know when our parents are going to be home, because most of the time they didn't get home till way late. And I ran into the living room and I got on my knees and I just started praying. And he had to have only been maybe 3-4 years old. He wasn't very old.
Yeah.
And I started praying. I'm like, God, you need to help me. I said, I can't lose my younger brother. You need to help me. And it was the first time I seen an angel.
Really?
Yep. All of a sudden, this beautiful, and I mean beautiful angel appears. And she kind of appeared a lot like what we kind of imagine angels to be. Okay. I didn't see no wings, but the lightness and stuff was pretty angelical is an understatement. It was the most brilliant, amazing thing. And it was so weird because I felt her behind me when I was on my knees, and I looked up, and she just had the most beautiful smile on her face, and she had like blue eyes, which is interesting because even with like our guides, I never see their eye color, but with her, I seen eye color.
Oh wow,
that just kind of dawned on me. But anyway, she had blue eyes, and she said, it's going to be okay. And it was weird because we're all like, you got to remember, we were like 6 of us and we were like rat kids. I mean, we were all like all over the place and screaming and freaking out. And she said, it's going to be okay. He's going to make it. And everybody just all of a sudden got really super calm.
Mm-hmm.
And my oldest sister kind of took charge. She called one of the neighbors that we went to church with. She didn't live anywhere close, but called her and said, hey, my brother got burned. She didn't know how to say, my brother's pulling all the skins off, you know. But she said, my brother got burned, and can you come help us? It was a miracle that lady was even at home.
Wow.
And it was the only number my sister knew.
Wow.
And so when she came down to the creepy house, you know, where nobody knew we was there,
right?
She came down the driveway, seeing how bad he was, and that's when we got him to the hospital.
Wow.
And for months and months, that I remember they had to take him up to the university or the primary children's hospital, and they would, with wire brushes, scrape his skin.
Oh my gosh.
And
that's
then
awful.
he'd come home and he'd be in this cast where his arms were like all out and everything. And I remember him just praying, God, please don't let it hurt me this time. Please don't let it hurt me. I can't even imagine being in my parents' shoes, having my 3-year-old son praying to God that it's not going to hurt. Like that was amazing. Yeah. But you know what's so crazy? Mm-hmm. With all of that damage that was done. You know how some people, like, you see their burns? You would never know my brother was burnt that bad. Never.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Never. Like, you would never guess it. Now, beat up and his body's a little all beat the hell up.
Yeah, right.
Yes. But burnt.
But not
never,
burnt scars.
Not even. Nope. He's got great skin. I mean, you would have never known.
Have you ever seen The Craft? About the 3 witches, and then she getting her skin scraped because she was burned, and then she I guess did a spell to take it away, and then it just reminded me of that.
Yeah. You I mean, you would think, and they were scrubbing it because you would think that he would have had a lot of times their skin gets really fragile and really almost thin, and I mean, it definitely, like, you can tell, like, and a lot of times their hair won't grow back and stuff.
Right.
Like, we're talking from the head all the way down to his kneecaps was 3rd-degree burns all over his body.
Wow. That's insane.
And he recovered well, and you'd never know. And then I also had another time when I had to have been maybe 5-ish, 4 or 5. We were out at a family reunion, and we were, we always do that outdoors, you know, and they had a big bonfire going on. And I remember looking at it, and I remember I thought I seen someone in the fire, a man, and he kept telling me, come here, come here, come here. And I ended up walking into that fire, and I got burnt bad.
Oh my gosh.
And I have the scar on my hand still from it, because when I fell, I had one of the briquette stuck to my hand. Oh. But this is the only scar I got, and I got more of a scar than my brother did, and he got way worse burnt than me.
Wow.
But I have so many miracle stories. Yeah. I mean, things where you're just like, there ain't no way, and it is. It happens, and I don't think that it's because I'm special. I really think so many people have these things happen to them, and they chalk it up to, oh, thank God, it was just good luck. Yeah, no, they don't realize how lucky they really are.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
How about you? Have you had any divine intervention?
Yeah,
in a good, bad, or ugly way?
Yes. The one that I'm so fearful, even to today, of getting in a car accident. I don't know why. Maybe.
So I get that from you.
Maybe.
Well, your soul connects, so you're going to. You know? And it's funny. Me and my daughter do the same thing too. So when I'm freaked out, she knows. She's on it.
She
and I'm
feels. Yeah.
Quit tuning into me.
Yeah, we always.
Yeah, same.
My daughter does it
and
too.
You can't, when you have a soul connected kid, don't lie to him. I mean, literally, you could be in China
know.
and step off a curb and sprain your ankle, and her ankle will swell.
Right.
I mean, that's how that works. Yeah. And so it's kind of
gosh.
interesting because I bet you anything, when that's a soul connection like that,
Mhm.
a lot of times it's because you guys are kind of double timing life. So you guys are actually learning the same path. So
Wow.
if you can learn from what your mom's mistakes were, right?
Yeah.
And not repeat it, because that's what you're going to find is you're going to find you're repeating a pattern. So if
yeah,
you
we
can,
do have some.
if
patterns.
you can identify it, it's really simple to kind of turn out of it, and you don't have to experience the pattern.
Awesome. Yeah, so I'm super fearful of getting in car accidents, and I drive a lot, especially for the real estate thing. I'm always in the car. Well, not always so much now, but I'm in the car a lot. And I don't get scared or anxious when I drive, but for some reason I'm always afraid of a car accident. And it was probably about 4 years ago. I was out here by the house in that nasty Mountain View corridor. I was heading east on 134, and some people might not know what this means, but the light was green, and I went through the light, and no shit, somebody ran the red light from north to south, and literally like
barely missed you.
This far went in front of me.
Oh, yeah.
And anyway, for sure, that was a miracle, because it scared the crap out of me, and like, you know, I about have a heart attack. Anyway.
Do you find that you have that anxiety still as much today, or is it lessened?
No, I don't. Like I said, I can go get in the car all day long and go
but
wherever.
have an anxiety of it, just being super aware.
Yes, because now every time I'm at a traffic light, I am always looking every direction to see what's going on. So yes. Does
it happen? So let's say that you're, and this is where things are changeable. So let's say I'm giving you a reading, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, hey, Lori, like your guides are telling me you need to like stop it, pay attention.
You have told me that before.
And like slow it down, get more embodied, and pay attention to what's going on.
Yep.
And then you can, if I see a car accident that is going to be like, we'll say severely bad, and it's not part of your soul journey. It's not part of the purpose. It's just because you're being fucked-hearted, right? Yeah. You can change that. Right. So you can minimize it and even avoid it. There's certain things that aren't changeable. Yes. So let's say you came down and you wanted to experience being a paraplegic.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Yeah.
Right. And that's because of a car accident. So even though you're going to be super aware, you're still going to end up.
It's still going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But if it's just, hey, you're not paying attention, dumbass, you need to pull your head out of your ass. Right. Then you can change it.
Yes.
Or minimize it.
Yep. The other miracle was with Star. She bought a brand new car on a Thursday night. Went to her sister's house to stay over because they work at the same company together. So she drove her car to her sister's to work the next day. Brand new car. And on her way home that next night, and we have dash cams in all of our cars. They've saved us in certain. Oh yeah,
a dash cam.
Yes.
Oh shit! I better not ever get one for my car. Like I want one, but it's just because I swear to God, I'm invisible when I drive. Like people don't see me. I mean, even cops. Like I don't even get pulled over because I'm invisible, and that's a good thing.
You're
sometimes.
like the Wonder Woman
but
plane.
But it's a really bad thing sometimes because no one else sees you. You're like, oh shit.
Right. But I had meant to take the dash cam out of the other vehicle and put it in, and I didn't. And that night at 1:00 in the morning, she got in a super bad car accident. Her sister left work maybe 5-10 minutes after her.
Yep.
So she got there right after it happened. Thank goodness, because Star was super, I think 18 at this time. Young, inexperienced. Yeah. And I'm telling you, that freaking car saved her life.
Oh, I can imagine.
because it got totaled. And that was a whole other thing. But we took her to the hospital, and she had a seatbelt mark across her chest.
Yeah, I had one of those
yep.
badge of honors myself.
Yeah, she had that, and she had a little bit of neck, and she got a massage, and it was fine. But when we went the next day to get her stuff out of that car, it was like,
yeah,
that car saved her, like with the airbags and everything. So it's just a miracle that, first of all, the car saved her life, and second, her sister pulled up right behind to help.
Isn't that crazy?
Console her.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, people, I can't even, like, the amount of times that people have showed up at the right time at the right place for me and my family.
Yeah,
it is it's too unbelievable.
Right.
And like, if people could just understand that that's how this all works, right? We're not alone. As much as we like sometimes want to be, we're not alone. And these coincidences, they're not coincidental. They're kind of planned.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And sometimes it's to get you to pull your head out of your ass.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's to get you to be at the right place at the right time. And I mean, like, there was one time I was, I don't even know why I was out late. But I just had this craving. I needed to go get me a drink. And I mean, we're talking 2 a.m. and I'm going, what?
When all the drunks are out.
This makes no damn sense. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And I'm just still like autopilot going out to my truck to go to the gas station, get me a drink.
Right.
Even though I had plenty in the fridge, I had to do that, right? I just felt I needed to. And as I pulled out, I watched this car, and it was going so damn fast. It was like, vroom, and he ran into the telephone pole.
Oh.
He had 3 kids in the car.
Oh.
One of them died.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
On impact. He died on impact, and he did it intentionally. He did it intentionally. But there was a baby, and that baby ended up underneath the front seat, and there wasn't a mark on that baby. You wouldn't have ever known.
Wow.
That kid had just gotten in it. And we're talking like just
Crunch.
A little like 8-9-year-old or month old.
Oh,
like,
so tiny baby.
Tiny. And not a scratch on nothing. And his sister, and I don't know how old she was. She was like only like 6, 7 maybe. And she was fine. The other one didn't make it. But it was interesting because I stayed with those kids for a long time, just waiting for, it felt like forever.
Yes.
But it was so weird how
you got that
calm,
urge and, oh yeah.
And like everything just seemed to be almost like tunnel vision, almost like it was the only thing that was happening. But it was so calm. The kids weren't even screaming and crying. Like, everybody was, we were trying to kind of coordinate to make sure everybody was okay. But like, everything just kind of happened the way it did. And I know that there was 3 angels around that car.
Well, you were one of the angels.
No, but like
showed up.
Angels around that car. I could see them, and they were hovering around that car.
Wow.
And I know that they protected those 2 kids. Yeah. I absolutely know it. And then you have times where, you see something like that, and then they don't make it.
Yeah.
And you just sit there and you go, why? Like, how come these ones got lucky? These ones did. Well, because, what they needed to experience was done.
Yeah.
And as much as that sounds like a crapshoot, and I am in no way minimizing anybody's loss of a child. Right. That is the worst damn thing you could ever experience, and it is not okay. But even with my family's situation that happened with that earlier this year, the love and the outpour and the people that just
show
even to
up,
this day that have been there and been there rock and solid was almost so amazing. It was deafening. Yeah. And it almost kind of, the love that you feel surrounding my brother and his family is unbelievable. And that is a miracle to watch in and of itself.
The support.
It is. Just, and again, people are when you have that urge that you need to go do something, go do it, because most of the time is to connect you in the right spot with the right person, whether you're needing it or they're needing it.
Yes. True. Do you have any besides the $50 you found?
Yeah. Oh, come on. You got to have some. You got to have a lot up your sleeve. You just tell her. She's just like walking through like no big deal.
I would say just recently the podcast.
Oh.
Just like it just seems to be falling in place.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I agree too. I you know, it is so neat that you guys are coordinating this and doing this. Yeah, I've been telling you for how many 5 years? I'm like, Lori, we need to figure out a way so we can connect all of our people to all of our people so that we can help each other through this, you know? If more people would just take just a moment of their time and go, hey, I have a feeling that this person just needs me to reach out and do it, you're going to find every damn time that intuition was right on.
Oh, yeah.
Right
for
on.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess I did my form of meditation on like next steps were going to be a while ago. And I kept hearing, you're going to help your mom. You're going to help your mom like a lot.
Was that before?
That was before you even
said anything.
Started.
I seen that in your reading, a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. It just came in really strong. And that was before we started doing the lives and everything.
Well, and don't you think it's helped really reconnect your relationship with one another? You know, I always tell, I've got so many people are going through what I went through, where like, you know, your kids got to spread their wings and kind of learn on their own, and then you're just like feeling like they're just abandoning you, and you're going through an identity crisis, and, and then all of a sudden something connects and clicks, and that bond comes back together again. Like I dreamed, I prayed for this relationship I have with my daughter, and it's better than even I could have expected it to be.
Wow,
really.
That's another miracle.
And absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. And every day I don't get in trouble by her is a miracle. Because I'm a professional getting in trouble. Yeah.
Oh
that's so funny.
Actually, my health stuff.
Yes.
I have a lot of health stuff going on. Yeah. Which it's pretty fucking normal. I'm a hot mess and it's fine. And all my doctors know it's hell. It's fine. Which is why they just hate me. Yes. You know, but there's so much that has gone so right. And I've gotten oddly connected with the right doctors at the right time, and like literally you know, when they say you're a miracle, that is neat about the first 20 times, but after that it's like, I know, can we get on with the show? Let's move on.
Let's just fix me.
I'm not worried. I know I could die, but I'm not gonna. Okay, so let's just do it and get her over with. But no, I have had the most amazing medical team that somehow I got connected in with, and that's hard because doctors are overwhelmed, worn out, and angry. Yeah. And finding a good doctor that wants to actually connect and hear you, especially if you got a chronic issue, is almost impossible. Yeah. And somehow that's why every time I find a good one, I'm like telling everybody, I know who you got to see. But I actually have so many amazing doctors that I've gotten to know on a more of a personal level. Right. That like I send a lot of my clients to and stuff, because, you know, it's hard to find a good doctor. But these doctors, I can't imagine being in their shoes where they have put so much time, so much money invested in their career for a pharmaceutical or the government to tell them how the hell to treat the patient. Exactly. And there's so many of them that are just done. They're just done. They're over it. And those are the ones that I think should just take some time off versus treat people like shit. But
I agree.
You know, have some patience with them, because I'll tell you, there's doctors out there like the ones I got, and they go beyond the call of duty. Like my dentist guy, because I've been so malnourished, my teeth have been a problem. And he calls me every night after I have a dental procedure. Are you okay? Is there anything I can do for you? I can bring you some warm soup. And I'm just like,
oh my God.
And I know he's not hitting on me, even though I'd like him to, but I know he's not. You know, he's just that caring, that genuine. And I'm like,
and concerned. Yeah.
I have had like when I went into organ failure, and my organ doctor saved my life. And she's like, you're great. I love this. And it really is all about attitude. When you have the right kind of attitude, and it's hard to have when you have a chronic issue. It is hard. Yeah. But when you can put yourself in the right attitude, no matter what they say, you'll overcome it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You will overcome it. You will defy every damn odds there is out there.
I'm surprised she's sitting here right now.
I am professional at that.
I'm like, you want to come? Oh, okay. All right, then. Let's do this.
We're on it. But I would love it if our people could share, you know, what they've experienced. You know, was it someone that they met at the right time? Was it a situation that someone pulled through that a stranger?
Yeah.
You know, I would love it if they could share their story with their story with everybody else that we got, you know, and that's what I think people really need right now, is they just need someone to go, hey, I've been there, I've done that, let me show you the right way. And I really think we've got a lot of people that have the right heart, right movement. We just have also so much heaviness going on planetarily that no one knows what to do.
Right, they're lost.
No one knows where to help, because it's almost like looking at a bunch of casualties and going, okay, well, who do I try to fix?
Where do I start?
Yeah, and I think if you can just start by going, hey,
let's share a story.
Let's share a story.
Yeah.
You know, this was my spiritual journey. This is what I experienced. This is what got me knowing, hey, there might be something to this whole like other side thing.
Yep.
And I really think that could inspire, even if it just
inspire, enlighten,
for just a moment. Just one moment, you did enough.
Yep, exactly. So, if you have some miracles.
I do have a story.
Okay.
So, well, one thing I did want to mention before I read this, I do have another person that has come into my life, and it's actually my therapist.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of just happened out of nowhere. Like, I was looking at another place, and they were like, no, but this girl might have some availability. And she understands all of this.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
She's got the spiritual side.
I have so many therapists that I do readings for.
Yeah.
So many. And you know, the sad part is like when you're a universal therapist, you won't do that whether you get a profession licensed or not.
Right.
So you might as well get paid for it. But
right.
Yeah. I get it. And she's probably a universal therapist. She did it right though. She's getting the big bucks for that. But you know what? Truthfully, like, you're gonna do it. I think a lot of hairdressers and people like that are
real estate agents.
Yes,
I'm the
them,
therapy.
and I love every one of them.
I'm
are
a
magical,
therapist.
and they have a hint of crazy, which I love. Like it's a perfect mix.
Yep.
But like, they are. There's just so many magical people out there. I think we would see that if we would allow one another to connect, but we don't. We put our head down, we get our stuff done, then we move.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear the story, girl.
So Michelle says, July 2nd of 2008, my friend and I were in a jet ski accident. On the lake, we were T-boned by another jet ski.
Oh.
We were wearing life jackets, but I still shot straight down into the water. As I was sinking down, I had noticed how clear the water was. As clear as the water, as clear we could drink it. I think that's what she's trying to say. All of a sudden, something grabbed me. I remember seeing a figure with what looked like dark hair and a long white dress.
Wow.
And it was telling me as it grabbed me to hold on, everything is going to be okay, and it shot me straight up out of the water. After I got out of the hospital, my friend came to see me, and she had proceeded to share what she had seen, and it was the same exact experience.
Wow.
She says that I felt that it was my mom. Sorry, that's my grandma.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
See, it's so beautiful.
Right.
It's so beautiful. And life can be that beautiful, guys, if we can just allow ourselves to outweigh the negative.
Yep.
Because energy's got to be energy. If we can hold this higher vibration, this negative shit has to come up.
Yeah. I love it.
And then Doreen says, Doreen.
Doreen.
Sorry, Doreen. Are you German?
Sorry, I read the bottom part. Says, happens to me a lot. Listen to my inner voice.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
All right, well, I got to saddle up and right
Taco's got to head out. And so thank you, everyone, for joining us. Again, please go to our website, howdoyouspirit.com, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, at How Do You Spirit. We're also converting our Lori Jewett How Do You Spirit page over to a business How Do You Spirit page. That's in transition. So please go like and follow us there because we're going to start streaming there soon, probably in a month or so. And reach out to us. We want you to connect.
Oh, absolutely.
With everybody else. So anyway, thank you for joining us and we will see you soon.
Bye.